Right, on my, I don't like this little bit here, this bit, so I'm going to soften that out. And on my reference photo, right, sorry. On my reference photo, there's a highlight coming down here. So back up, yeah, and also because that's repetitive, we're more going that way because my light's coming in that way. But there's still an highlight coming down here on my reference photo, and it's going to break up that repetitiveness. So, like I said, don't follow my reference photo to the T, but because it's going to break that thing up, and that's a bit from my reference photo that I am going to take and use. So your reference photo, you're just using the bits that you want to use. The bits you're not bothered about, don't bother. Right, something like that. And just move that paint around a little bit. Something like that. That's another highlight coming down there. Look better when it's dried, that will. All right, another thing I'm going to do. Let's do a little bit on this wall. I'm thinking about this wall. I'm going to just chisel the edge of that a bit. I'm just going to take some highlights out of this now, in the shapes of little stones, for little bits of stoneworks. Some will be stronger than others from where I've grabbed my brush, so I'll have another dab to rinse my brush, sorry. I'll just rinse my brush again. I've just gone like that on the edge of my brush to chisel that end as well. And then just taking out little, perfect with this brush because it's just a perfect size for a bit of brickwork. People always say what size the brushes they're using on painting demos, but it's a bit irrelevant really. I don't even know what size brush this is. All the things come off it, but it's a bit irrelevant because if you're using a bigger piece of paper, the size of the brush is you'd want a bigger brush, or if you're on a smaller piece, you want a smaller brush, innit? What I'm saying, innit? Just a little, it's just refining this area now, making it look more interesting. I'm not painting in every single little brick, by the way. I'm just popping in some of them. Some of these areas what look a bit boring because there's like these bits here, look, where there's just one big chunk of colour. I can break them up a little bit. There we are. Niceness, niceness, niceness. Little now. So, that looks a little bit better, doesn't it? Tell you where else I could do, and all while I'm doing these little details. Let's put in, let's get a really small brush. Let's pop in. I think it's time to pop some details in on this ass. Some blue and some Montumber. Ultramarine blue and Montumber. Get a real dark colour. See what that looks like. Pop a little window in there. I'll have another one there. And another one about there, something like that. See, I don't do the full window, just do a tiny little impression of a window. I wonder if, or shall I get an even, let's get an even smaller brush. Let's get a tiny little brush. There. Just chiseling the end up with this tiny little brush. I wonder if I can get some little ridge tiles on this roof. Niceness, look at that. I think again, let's not go all the way across and do every single ridge tile. Put a couple in there, right here. Let's get a couple of little hints of some brickwork in there. Just a bit of the dark bits in between bricks. And then tiles. Let's get some tiles on. So here with my tiles I can use the patterns what's already there. And just remember, I'll tell you now, right, you know, if you paint every single tile on this, it'll look rubbish. It just always does. You're putting in a few tiles. So the best bet is to go into these light areas really, because then they stand out more. Yeah, we're making the impression of tiles. So it looks like there's a few tiles there. They can be all rickety on these old barn buildings. Rickety looks better. But yeah, if you paint every single tile in, I'll guarantee you it'll look rubbish. So that, probably enough for tiles. Right, same with brickwork. It's up to you if you want to put every little brick in. Do it. It'll not look good. Telling me. Telling you, not look good. You'll regret it. Let's say a bit of a shadow under there. A bit of one there. Maybe tidy that edge up a bit. Right. Brickwork. Just put a tad more wax into that paint so it flows a bit better. That's better. Right, brickworks. Let's say a bit of brickworks. Same again. You don't want every single brick in there. Just so. In fact, I don't think the bricks. They'd be rocks, wouldn't they? This is like a rock cabin. Do they call it? I don't know. I think these sorts of things are made from rocks. I think so. I'm not very knowledgeable about anything. There, can you just see that? It's just a little hint. This is quite far away. So you start sticking every single detail in, you'll make it look closer. Well, you don't want it looking closer. If you make that look closer, it'll look like a tiny little house that's right up close to you. Well, that's not what we want. So, when it comes to doing this, less is more. Pour a few bits in on this bit as well. It's quite dark in here anyway, so you not see a great deal, but a few little bits in there. It's a fiddly little brush. Trouble is with a little brush like this, brilliant for getting them really fine lines, but there's not enough bristles on it to hold any paint, so it's a bit of a nightmare. Right, done. I'll probably do a bit of that in that wall as well, but I'll make sure everything's dry first. In it.